After 15 years, the most iconic range of rods, Series 7, has come to an end. Manufacturing techniques have changed, new materials, so it's time for us to launch a new range of rods. This is Vertex.
The rods need to be very light in the hand, and this is exactly what you've got with the Vertex rods. The material is much lighter than the Series 7 type rods that we used to use.
Over the last 15 years, fishing's changed so much. Things have progressed, and we've built that into these rods. Now we've got ultra short rods at like 9 foot to distance feeder rods. This range will have it all.
The Vertex rods cover all aspects of fishing. From fishing short on quite small lakes to fishing on big waters where you want big wagglers or the method feeder fishing at distance. There's a good range of rods that's at an affordable price that you can use to make sure that your rods suit exactly what you're doing on the type of fishing that you're doing. When a prototype rod arrives to me, the first thing I've got to do is to check the rod actually looks quite nice. We're all tackle tarts, me included. I like everything to match and everything in the range to look good. The next thing's probably the guides on the rod. The guides need to be strong. You put quite a lot of pressure on these rods when they're in rod sleeves, and if the rings start bending, this can be a big problem. The next thing is also the diameter of the blank. The blank needs to be quite a thin diameter. A lot of time when we're fishing in our country we get a lot of wind, and if the blank is thick, then the wind affects the rod a lot when you're fishing. The next thing is also the action of the rod. The action of the rod and the strength of the playing action and where the action comes through on the rod is a very, very important part of the rod itself. Of course, then I need to get out and catch some fish with the rods and make sure everything's right for playing the fish. The Vertex rods now have brought the standard up much higher. They're a quality piece of kit. They're a rod that I could use all the time for even my style of match fishing. Each of the feeder rods come with 2 tips, a lighter version tip and also a stiffer version. Now all of the tips are interchangeable, so if you have a 9-foot rod up to a 12-foot rod, the 12-foot quiver tips will also fit the shorter 9-foot rod as well. So you can build up a nice array of quiver tips to use for different circumstances in your fishing. Along with the range of Vertex rods, we've also brought 2 landing net poles. A 3-metre version which is telescopic, just 2 section, very, very stiff and in fitting for our style of fishing now, where we're wanting to net carp and F1s very, very quickly. Once you use a short 9-foot Vertex rod, you can bring fish very close to you, and netting fish very quickly with a 3-metre stiff landing net poles is an important part of match fishing. If you're using longer rods, often the fish come up further out, so you need a slightly longer landing net pole. We've also brought a 3.5-metre 3-piece Vertex landing net pole, so that's the 2 landing net poles that we've also brought to the Vertex range. All of the Drennan Vertex rods are checked individually in the company before they're sent out, and even as small blemishes on the cork or just slight changes in cosmetics, these rods are rejected. Every rod that's sent out has been flex tested, so when you receive a Drennan rod, you know that you've got a high quality piece of kit.